sa economic status quo of the Philippines right now. Napakadami nating problema, edukasyon, ekonomiya. Why are they getting so much attention? They do not deserve a single centavo from the people's money, ladies and gentlemen. Ikalawang or second level of argument, praktikal sa mga bilanggo na ma-death sentence na lang or mamatay na lang. Sapagkat, sa kasalukuyan, sinasabi natin, statistics would show that ang ratio ng selda sa mga bilanggo 1:50. Isang bilangguan sa 50 bilanggo. Madaming bilanggo namamatay, walang kain, mabaho. So instead of spending a lifetime sa loob ng selda, sa kulungan, why not spend it together with San Pedro and serve a lesson to others not to do the same thing kabanbanan and not to do the same kaaningan once again. On my second argument, ikalawang punto, death penalty is the efficient and the most effective way deterrent against heinous crimes o mga karumal-dumal na krimen, kagaya na lamang ng pagpatay kay Maureen Holtman at mga terorismo. It is interesting to note that House of Representatives on year 1988 pushed the death penalty as a counter-insurgency law. Sa totoo lang, mga kaibigan, ang death penalty ang pinaka-epektibong paraan upang labanan hindi lamang ang kriminalidad, pati na ang insurhensiya sa Pilipinas. Yung mga komunistang yan, mga NPA, Abu Sayyaf, or what have you, matatakot na silang pumatay, mambomba ng bus kung may death penalty. Thus, we say, coming from the affirmative side, that death penalty is indeed economically beneficial both on government and the people of the Philippines. Thank you.
Ayan, napakatindi. Ang tindi talaga.
Christine has unleashed her fury.
Yan, sabi ni CJ, ito ay practical at economical, lalo-lalo ngayong panahon na may economic crisis tayo. Wala naman silang contribution at gastos pa, so i-death penalty na lang natin.
Not a single cent.
Oo. Magkakasakit lang din sa selda dahil 1:50 ang statistics. Bago magkasakit, patay na lang natin.
Oo.
So, ngayon, pakinggan naman natin ang negative side. Anong masasabi niyo dyan?
Magandang hapon. Kapag pinag-uusapan ng death penalty, ito ay pagpatay, mga kaibigan. At kami na nasa negative side ay talagang sinasabi namin na ayaw naming ibalik o ibuhay muli ang panukaling ito sa sumusunod na dahilan. Bigyang tugon muna natin ang mga argumentong sinasabi ng affirmative side. Kasi sinabi nila kanina na itong mga taong nag-commit ng heinous crimes are worthless economically and that they can actually be equated to zero. Mga kaibigan, tama ang kanilang sinabi. Subalit, habang may buhay ay isang tao, we cannot judge then and there that these people can no longer be productive at the end of the day. Kasi pagkatapos ng reklusyon perpetua, sa kapanahunang mailabas sila sa selda, mga kaibigan, ang mga taong ito ay makokonsensya. The victims tend to become more enlightened because of the grave experience inside the prison cell. At gusto na nilang magbago, mga kaibigan. Sinabi nila kanina na these individuals can actually become more stiffer and commit crimes at the end of the day if they will be out from the cell. Ito ay isang assumption kasi 30 years is a big number of years. Paglabas nila, puti na ang kanilang buhok, mga kaibigan. How can they think of modus operandi at the end of the day, mga kaibigan? Ang death penalty through lethal injection ay sinasabi namin di talaga narapat sapagkat una sa lahat, it is costly by nature. Why is that so? It actually entails a lot of pre-trial time, mga kaibigan. Ito ay nangangailangan ng more experts, twice as many attorneys, and more medical practitioners and doctors, mga kaibigan. Sinasabi natin na ito ay magdudulot talaga ng malaking issue sa Pilipinas sapagkat itong mga medical practitioners ay may oath not to do intentional killing. And this death penalty can actually break that oath that these medical practitioners actually have vowed, mga kaibigan. Sa pangalawang level ng aming argumento, ito ay maaaring magdulot ng karagdagang suliranin sa gobyerno, pati na rin sa komunidad, sa bunga ng posibleng pag-aalsa ng mga religious groups at pro-to-life non-government organizations dahil sa death penalty. At ito rin ay isa sa mga, it's actually a form of underrating and devaluing their advocacies of these groups to think that we are actually a predominantly Christian Catholic, mga kaibigan. So having death penalty revived once more may result to revolutionary violence of these anti-groups and may actually bring about several harsh repercussions in the Philippine community. Ito ang magdudulot rin ng mga impresyon na ang penal colony ng ating bansa ay wala ng pag-asang bumangon, mga kaibigan, sapagkat sinabi nila kanina na ang ratio is actually 1:50. Mga kaibigan, maaari nating bigyan ng solusyon yan. Ang presidente natin, lumalabas sa bansa. Maraming pera, buwis ng mga Pilipino ang ginagamit. So we can actually cost cut that and put this money to those people and the prisoners. Ang death penalty ay di nagbibigay ng pagkakataon sa mga nasasangkot to pay the damages that they've actually done and ask for forgiveness, granting that the members of the accused are still open, members of the victim are still open for negotiations. Tandaan natin na to kill someone is actually simply continuing the perpetuity of violence in the community. Dapat di natin ipanukala o buhayin muli ang death penalty sapagkat naniniwala tayo mga Pilipino na habang may buhay ay may pag-asa. Maraming salamat, magandang hapon.
Ayan, maraming salamat. Habang may buhay, may pag-asa.
May
So,
pag-asa.
dapat lang na paggastusan din ng
Paggagastusan
gobyerno
natin.
ang pagre-reform.
Oo, kukuha
sa
tayo ng
mga
pera
tao
sa
ito.
labas, galing sa investment at galing sa buwis, bigyan natin ng sapat na
Pagkakataong
confinement at pagkakataon
magbago.
magbago ang mga preso.
Pero on the issue of, if it's practical or not, hingan natin ng brief comment lang, no? Si Professor Arnold, Professor of Economics.
Dahil economics din naman ang pinag-uusapan natin,
Economics
sir.
ang pinag-uusapan.
Ito isa sa pinakamahirap na usapin sa economics, no? Kasi we are talking here of the value of life, no? Pero sa puntong tanong, kung economical ba yung death penalty, isa sa dapat nating i-consider, yung pananaw na, pag sinabi kasi nating economical, hindi lang yung gasto. No? It's not only the cost that we consider, but also the benefit that we get. So, in a way, parehong may punto. Tama din yung sinabi nung affirmative na depende kasi yan kung paano natin tingnan yung value ng buhay. If you look at life based on how much income you generate, so if you have zero income, technically you have no value economically. No? Pero kagaya din ng sinabi nila, tama din yun na habang may buhay may pag-asa. So in the end, I think if we are to really say whether this particular penalty is economical or not, we really have to look into the cost as well as the benefit. Like the case, for example, we're talking about morality. If we take, for example, the benefit that we have derived from the death of Jesus Christ, who actually was subjected to death penalty during the time of the Romans, salvation wouldn't have come if he hadn't died. So, may mga benefits na pwede nating tingnan, no? So, depende yan sa tao. So, I think that's one good area that we can do research, how people, no, would be, in a way, willing to have this kind of penalty. I think the economics students would know yung cost-benefit analysis na tinatawag natin. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway,
Baka may tanong ang ating
punta naman natin ang ating
audience.
audience. Yes, ma'am. Meron ba tayong katanungan or question sa ating mga debaters or panel of guests? Ano pong pangalan natin?
Ivy po.
Ivy from anong college?
College of Education.
College of Education. So, go ahead with your comment or question, Ivy.
I have a question for the second speaker of the affirmative side. The moral law of God and the government law differs, right? But then, do you still follow the government law than the law of God, which says that thou shalt not kill?
Yun. Government law versus God's law.
Okay. First of all, it's very important to note na yung death penalty is actually sanctioned to those people na nag-commit ng heinous crimes. First and foremost, pumatay na yung kriminal ng tao. Inapakan na yung right ng ibang tao. Inabuso yung tao or if not, sinira ang kinabukasan ng tao na pinatay, ni-rape, minurder niya. That's why we say na, karapat-dapat lang na bumalik sa kanya, mag-backfire sa kanya kung ano ang ginawa niya. Because God said that thou shalt not kill. O bakit ka pumatay? And it is actually the role of the human being or the role of the government, the role of the state to protect the majority. So what we say here is we value the majority of the people. We value the life of these people. That's why we value death penalty at the end of the day.
Magbabalik po ang KKK.